Roy Whiting, who murdered 8-year-old Sarah Payne, was heard to be screaming and hiding under his bed inside of HMP Wakefield when Andrew Light was on top of him with a homemade shank trying to take his life, or allegedly. Now, this is what's been told to the jury in Leeds Crown Court. Now, Andrew Light, if you don't know the story, I will go over it again, but it was proven not guilty by the jury. Well done, jury members. Nice result for Andrew Light, because if you'd seen the last video that I'd done on this, talking about the case, I will link it at the end, because it is go into the story a little bit more about Roy Whiting, the amount of times he's been attacked in prison, and this most recent one, which was last year in 2024 inside of HMP Wakefield. Now, Andrew Light, who is 45-year-old, I think he is now, is already serving a life sentence for murder inside of HMP Wakefield. And it was his flatmate, I believe, or someone who was in the flat with him. He actually murdered him and got a life sentence and ended up inside of HMP Wakefield, which is a nonce prison. Not on normal courtyard exercise. Beasts, bacons, the ones that are kept away from the normal location lads. Now, it's been said that Andrew Light hates nonces, ex-offenders. And he has been put in this prison with a load of bacons, because the prison is about 90% full of ex-offenders. And the odd few, like Andrew Light, get put inside of there. And when they're getting assessed on the way in to see what type of prisoner they are, Andrew Light might have looked like the type of prisoner that couldn't handle the other high security estates. This is just what I'm assuming. And they've put him in there thinking that he won't be a danger to the other prisoners. But he has an ideology and a hatred towards nonces. The ones like Roy Whiting. Now, Roy Whiting is in prison serving life with a minimum of 40 years for murdering 8-year-old Sarah Payne. This absolute beast of a man has been attacked on numerous occasions for that exact reason, for what he's in for. This was a harrowing and distressing case. It always is when it involves little ones. And I remember it vividly. And this is why I cover the topics on here about him getting his prison justice. Because if you think like me and you believe what happened to him, of Andrew Light, is just desserts. It is what we call acceptable inside of prison for these type of inmates to get a taste of their own medicine and get some prison justice. So he was screaming under his bed when Andrew Light had went in, and he said to him, "Are you Roy? Are you Roy Whiting?" And he went in and proceeded to attack him with a homemade shank. And it does say the homemade shank was made out of wood. As in prison, it can be made out of wood, plastic, metal, anything the prisoners can get their hands on to make these type of tools, or shanks as they're referred to as. And he has stabbed him 12 times inside of his prison cell. And he was in fear of his life. He was looking up at Andrew Light, screaming like a little bitch, getting a bit of prison justice. And he decided to get under his bed because he thought his life was over. And like I've said in that last video, I wonder if little Sarah Payne was flashing in front of his eyes as he was getting attacked, getting something what he inflicted on that poor little girl. I wonder if his thoughts were, this is my punishment for what I've done, this is karma catching up. He must have had those thoughts, even more so afterwards, when he's getting attacked of someone bigger, when he's feeling vulnerable, because he is getting on now, and obviously Andrew Light is in his 40s, probably goes to the gym, works out in a physically fit, and he's on top of Roy Whiting. Roy Whiting has become the victim feeling rather vulnerable, thinking that his life is about to end. But when they've went to trial, Andrew Light did obviously admit to it, that he wasn't intending to kill him. He just said he was going in to inflict serious injury on him, which is a Section 18 GBH with intent, grievous bodily harm. Now, there is two GBHs. There's a GBH with intent, and there's a Section 20, which is just a GBH, grievous bodily harm, wounding. But the other one is with the intent, and he's obviously admitted to this and denied the attempted murder. He didn't actually stand up and give evidence in the dock. He was in court, however. So was Whiting, going over everything about what happened to him, saying how scared he was, how he thought he was going to lose his life. He's in there pleading to the jury, crying on, begging for some sort of forgiveness or some sort of sympathy. He was trying to kill us. He even said he was under the bed screaming and cowering. What do you think about that, people? Do you think that is karma? Do you think that is deserved? Let us know your thoughts in the comments about that. But he has finished off giving his evidence. The jury were deliberating for 5 hours and they come back as not proven. Obviously, when the jury comes back, 12 jury members come back out. Judge says, have you reached a decision? Yes, they have. It's either a guilty, not guilty, or not proven. Or sometimes you get a hung jury where it's split, or a split jury where maybe 8 say guilty, 4 say not guilty. Then again, I think it's referred to as a hung jury. So this one, where it's not proven, means that they've got a couple of weeks to decide what to do next. If the prosecution thinks that there still is a case, then they can press forward for a retrial, which I do not think is going to happen, because they would have wasted enough money putting this monster up to get compensation, because that's basically what he's trying to do. The prison should have just dealt with it instead of going to court, but he wanted to go in, cry onto the jury, try to get a bit of sympathy, get the man a guilty so he can then get some compensation. Hopefully he doesn't get any compensation whatsoever, and hopefully, with the not proven, I do not think there will be a retrial. Then Andrew Light will have additional years added on for the GBH, but hopefully, if the judge sees a bit of sense, he might see it concurrently. Now, I will just tell you exactly what this is as well. Currently, he's serving a life sentence with a minimum of, I'd say, around about 15 years. If he gets 4 years for the GBH, and the judge says concurrently, that means it will not be added on. If he says consecutively, the 15-year would then be put up to 19 years. But we will wait and see what happens with the sentence, and I will keep you updated on here. But as you've seen in the last video, if you did watch that one, I was saying I hope the jury sees sense and does not give the man a guilty. Because if it was a guilty, the sentence wouldn't be concurrent. It would be consecutively, and he could end up with another life sentence on top. So the 15 would be turned into 25 or even 30. So we will wait and see exactly what the sentencing is. But again, let us know your thoughts about this one in the comment section. And as usual, people, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Hit the like button because it does make a massive difference with the algorithm. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.